All right. Hey YouTube, how are you? So, an update on the Kia Optima. I no longer have it. I had to get rid of it. And let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you from the beginning. My whole entire start to finish with the Kia Optima, it was a piece of crap. I can't even begin to start. So I got the car back in 2019 when I was 18 years old. I got it like 3 weeks before my 19th birthday. When I got it from like a used car dealership. No fault to the dealership, they're just doing what dealerships do, selling cars. And anyways, so my credit was very new at the time. I didn't really have any credit at all, actually. And so my dad, he basically put the whole entire car loan under his name. And so the car was under his name. I get the car, 8% interest for 6 years. I'm paying $350 a month, and it is what it is. It was cool. It was a nice car for the age. Whatever. I liked it. Um, but every oil change, I do an oil change every 5,000 miles. I would have to put in oil tons of times between that oil change. And this was from like the beginning of getting the car. I got the car with 33,000 miles. It's a 2016 Kia Optima SX Turbo. I was the second owner, so it was a one owner car. I only had 33,000 miles on it. Right from the get go, when I got the car, doing like, normal inspection every single time I get I fill up on gas. I like to check the oil of my car. And so I would check the oil and it'd always be low. And in the beginning it was something light, like it'd be like a little bit below, or it'd be like maybe like 1/4 down from like where it's like full, and then where it's like the second line on the dipstick. And I had brought it up to the Kia dealership. Even though I didn't get it from a Kia dealership, I brought it up to them. So I was like, hey, like it's still under warranty because I'm the second owner, which means that it has 60,000 on the powertrain. And so I told them, I was like, it's burning oil. And they're like, oh, you have to just document it, do oil changes with us, and yada, yada, yada. Long story short, let's speed to the future. I continue to do oil changes with the Kia dealership just at that 5,000 mile range, but I would top it off with oil consistently on my own, at my own expense from Walmart. I'd use Walmart's SuperTech oil, the highest quality one that they have. SuperTech's amazing oil, for those of you that don't know. It's made by Mobile One, just rebranded as Walmart oil because they buy it from the same company. And so, time goes on. Now we're in 2023, and I start to notice, problems with my car. I've already had to change the spark plugs. The oil consumption is now up to, having to add a whole quart of oil after each gas fill up. That's a whole quart burned every 500 miles. That's terrible. And so I brought it up to the Kia dealership again, and then they're like, oh, well, it's exceeded the 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, so, it's not our problem, yada, yada, yada. And so the car eventually explodes on me. The car literally explodes on me. So it's at 95,000 miles now. And, it's almost at the 100,000 mile, special warranty that would be for the first owner. I'm not the first owner, though. So I take it out on the freeway, and, it's just a normal day. It's 8 a.m. Me and my girlfriend are going to go to the gym. And so we hop in the Kia, and we basically, hop on the freeway right here. And I let it warm up for, about cool 3 to 4 minutes before I even started driving it. And getting on the freeway, I was going like maybe 3,500 RPMs. And then out of nowhere, I hear da 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 da. And it's just like, I knew instantaneously that something was touching in the engine that shouldn't be touching. And, sure enough, I get off the freeway and check engine light comes on. And sure enough, we were just close enough to our house that I was able to go to the mechanic and see what's up with the mechanic. And, the mechanic, he's my friend. His name's Brian. He's a really nice guy, and he's an older gentleman. He has lots of years of experience in the car industry of repairing cars. And he told me, I don't want to touch this. Take it to the Kia dealership and see if you could get some type of warranty on it. I was just to the point where I was like, I don't know. I don't have money like that to just buy a new engine, or, just pay 3,000 to 4,000 out the get-go, on a car that I don't even enjoy. Like, it's a daily driver. It's not a super cool car. Like, this is a really cool car to me. This is my 1986 300ZX. This is my baby. I love this car. And if this required money like that, I have no problem spending it, because this is going to be a forever car. But the Kia Optima was never a forever car for me. It was always just a daily driver. I was going to get rid of it at some point. So figuring out that I had to spend that much money, I was kind of like, ooh. And so I do. I take it to the Kia dealership, and I talk to the guys at the Kia dealership, and they say, we'll take a look at it, we'll see what it is, yada, yada, yada. And I end up finding out that it's not covered under any warranty because there is one defect in the Kia Optima engine for the SX Turbo for that year and some other years too. But it's so weird. They said that the part that broke on my car, it's on the upper side of the engine. And the part that's covered under the defect is on the lower part near like the crankshaft, I guess. And basically, since it didn't break from that crankshaft, which would then cause everything else to break, the valves and the pistons and all that, it's not covered under their defect warranty because my engine broke from the top, not from the bottom. To me, the engine is one piece. If your engine breaks due to a defect, if your engine has a defect, regardless, that's a defected engine. It's an engine that's made improperly. It's been burning oil since I first got it. I've been telling you, like the Kia dealership literally just pissed me off so much saying that it was not covered because when I dropped it off to them, they made me feel kind of assured that, it could fall under like that defect. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'll get saved with this. I'll be able to get a new engine through Kia. No. And then I get a text from the guy, and he's like, we found out what's wrong with your car. It's going to cost $4,600. $4,600. Basically, I was starstruck by that. I told him, don't touch the car. I'm just going to pay for diagnostics, which is still $200. I'm going to come pick it up right now with a tow truck. And he was like, okay. So I go down to the Kia dealership and I get the car, pay the $200 for the diagnostics, and then all the people at Kia are all laughing at me. They're all like, oh, what are you going to do with the car? It doesn't work. What's your next step? And I didn't want to tell them because, to me, I feel like a dealership can contact another dealership and tell them immediately what the hell is wrong with that car, if you're trying to get rid of it. So I just told them, I have multiple cars in my house. I'm not in need of a car right now like that. So I'm just going to tow it to my house and I'll put it in the front and I'll have it as a lawn ornament. I'll just look at it. Wow, my broken Kia Optima. It just shut them up because it was kind of like annoying. They were asking me what I was going to do with it. And so when the tow truck guy comes, he's like, so where am I taking your car? And I'm like, we're taking it to CarMax. And so I go to CarMax. I call them up on the phone. I book an appointment to have my car looked at. And over the phone, the guy was like, oh, do you want to do the online process? I was like, no, I just want to do it in person, just in person. He's like, okay. So the tow truck guy, he meets me over at the CarMax here in Doherty. And I get there, I'm waiting maybe about 45 to an hour to finally get seen by the guy to look at the car. Actually, no, it took more maybe 20, 30 minutes, and it took another 30 minutes for them to come out with the amount that they're going to give me. But when the guy came out with me, I told him straight up, hey, this car does not, work. And I kind of lied a little bit. I said that, I hadn't taken it to the Kia dealership. I said I didn't know what was wrong with it. All I said was that it has an engine misfire, really, really bad engine misfire. That's what I told him. And that, this cannot be driven right now. But basically the transmission works, air conditioning works, the exterior looked great, interior was very well taken care of. All the electronics work, all the, everything worked. The only thing that didn't work was the most vital part of the car, which is the engine. And so yeah. Anyways, the guy's like, okay, I appreciate your honesty and all that. And then we end up going to wait, me and my dad, for about 30 minutes. And then after, the 30 minutes, they finally come out. And the guy came out kind of looking a little sad. Well, not sad, but he came out like he was just gonna give me the paper and then turn around and walk away really fast. I was gonna get really mad at the value they're gonna give me for the car. I was so desperate that I was just thinking at the lowest amount that they could give me, how I could make it work to get rid of the car. And so the guy comes out, he hands me the paper, and he's like, here's the value for what we will give you for your car. And then he says it's so low, and I look at it, I see $7,000. I'm like, I'll do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'll take it. And he was like, oh, really? Okay, all right. And so we end up going, the reason why I had to have my dad there is because, like I said, the car was in his name from the beginning. So the car was never, it was my car. I paid for it. I paid for the car insurance, car payments, everything. If something broke, I fixed it. I took care of that car, but it was in my dad's name on the loan. So to sell the car, I had to have my dad there with me. And so we ended up going, we signed all the paperwork. I only owed $7,600 left on my loan. So with that $7,000, thank God it was $7,000. I was able to pull $600 out of my own out of my own checkings, pay off the loan. Boom, flat. CarMax, here's my car. Thank you. So that's how I got rid of my Kia. I was saved because I didn't owe that much on my car. I only owed $7,600, and since it's still a newish car, I was able to get enough to get out of my loan. But for those of you that have Kias, Hyundais, they're newer, or they're older, and they still work, I would get rid of them. Me personally, I am so scared of Kia and Hyundai altogether as a company. I feel like they're complete dog water. They do not take care of their cars the same way Japanese companies do. And when it comes to actually like helping you out, they're not there to really help you out, and they do not care about you. And their cars are kind of, to me, seen as things that you just throw away when you're done with it and you get another one. Like, as if cars are like that. They're not. They're expensive. I actually did get a new car, and it is a 2007 Acura TL. Now this car is 44,000 miles on the odometer, and it is a one owner. It is a grandma car. I got it from Auto Connections used car dealership. This car is in my name, so I'm actually on the loan, thank God. And I actually got it for a pretty good price for what it is. I got it for $12,500. I'm on a 4-year payment plan. Yes, the interest is 15% because it's a 2007. What bank is going to finance a car from 2007? But I had to go with Westlake because that's one of the few banks that finances old cars like this, because they target more towards like low income, and it is what it is. But I can afford this. So it's 4 years, so that's 48 months, and my monthlies are only $280, and that's with gap insurance. So really good deal. Shout out to Auto Connections. Really cool used car dealership. I had an amazing time there. Very in and out. And I'm gonna talk very in detail about this car soon. I'm not really driving it right now because it is 16 years old. It has only 44,000 miles on the odometer, so I'm pretty sure the timing belt has never been changed. So it's probably beaten to hell. That needs to be changed ASAP. So until I change that, I'm not really gonna be driving it that much. It sounds good once warmed up, but on a cold start, it does have a whine, which I hopped in the Acura TL forums. It is more than likely that timing belt. So I already kind of assumed that. But yeah, so this is the new daily driver. No more Kia Optima. So for now, my whips are the 300ZX and the Acura TL. And then my mom, she did get a new Lexus, which I still need to make a video about, which I will soon. It's a very cool car. It's not the best on gas, but I tell you what, when I drive that thing, it is fun. I really enjoy it. It is a very cool SUV. All of the extra features inside. The infotainment's a little bit weird to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's easy as hell to navigate. And I think that Lexus did a phenomenal job with this car. But yeah, this is the new daily driver, 2007 Acura TL, 44,000 miles, and I am the second owner. I think it is the cleanest stock low mileage Acura TL in California. It is crazy. So you guys need to stay tuned for that video, and I hope you enjoyed my Kia and Hyundai rant. I will catch you next time.